7,165.4.70 with 10.71%, and the discounted amount is 27,565,300 pesos and 48 centavos. And for their calculated bid proposal, it's 30,890,440 pesos and 55 centavos with a discount of 10.71, and the discounted amount is 27,582,074 pesos and 37 centavos. It is complete, the lowest calculated bid, and below the ABC. For Ware Corporation International, the submitted bid proposal is 29,732,709 pesos and 96 centavos with 4% discount, and discounted amount is 28,543,401 pesos and 55 centavos. For their calculated bid, the amount of 29,727,469 pesos and 04 centavos with 4% discount. The discounted amount of 28,538,370 pesos and 27 centavos. It is complete bid, second lowest calculated bid, and below the ABC. The bid proposal of the following bidder were sent and complete for offering all the requirement items in the detailed estimate in the provided Philippine bidding document for St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation and Ware Corporation International. The bid proposal of St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation is considered as the lowest calculated bid in the amount of 27,582,074 pesos and 37 centavos. Before I proceed with the recommendation, I will show the arithmetical computation for St. Matthew. With the corrected bid proposal of 30,890,440.55 and discounted amount of 27,582,074.37. For Ware Corporation, this is the arithmetical. The bid proposal is 29. Corrected bid proposal is 29,727,469.04. And the corrected bid proposal is 28,538,370 pesos and 27 centavos. For the recommendation, the TWG hereby recommend the following. The bid proposal of St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation to undergo post-qualification process for being evaluated and considered as the lowest calculated bid in the amount of 27,582,074 pesos and 37 centavos for the Basco Airport Development Project CY 2021 extension of runway 06 including strip grade correction and slope protection using coconut bioengineering for approval of the Bids and Awards Committee, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Engineer Cusena, for that presentation. Do we have any recommendation is for the conduct of post-qualification for evaluation for St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation for having submitted the lowest calculated bid of 27,582,074 pesos and 37. Do we have any queries or comments or objections? If there's none, let's have a motion, please. Thank you.
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, Ken.
Motion to approve the DWG recommendation to conduct post-qualification for the lowest calculated bid of St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation in the amount of 27,582,74 pesos and 37 cents. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Is there any second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. There being a motion duly seconded, let the bid proposal of St. Matthew's General Contractor Development Corporation be subjected to post-qualification process for having been evaluated and considered as the lowest calculated bid for this project. Okay? Motion is carried. Let's move on to item number 3, presentation of the DWG Post-Qualification Report for Antique Airport Development Project, widening of runway markings, runway shoulder grade correction, provision of stopway and RESA, and provision of manhole and RCPC, amounting to 95,721,536 pesos and 06 centavos, an ADMS DOTR downloaded project. DWG, please proceed with your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to the members of the Bids and Awards Committee and everyone. Good morning. I will be presenting the outcome of the post-qualification evaluation conducted by the Technical Working Group for the Antique Airport Development Project for the bidder MR Vargas. For the bidder MR Vargas Construction Corporation. So this project is this project was opened last September 29, 2021, and the approved budget for this contract is 95,721,536 pesos and 06 centavos. So the lowest calculated bid in the amount of 64,675,790 pesos and 42 centavos for MR Vargas Construction Corporation. So here are the findings of our evaluation. So for the technical document, the first envelope, eligibility documents, field job certificate of registration, the submission is responsive. The certificate of field job registration is until valid. They submitted an SEC registration. The date of registration is May 3, 2027, so it is valid. Mayor's or business permit. The submitted mayor's permit is LGU of Mandaluyong, and it is valid until December 31, 2021 submitted. Responsive. For the tax clearance, the submitted tax clearance is also responsive. It is valid until December 22, 2021. For the PCAAB license, the requirement for this project is AAA, medium A for roads, highway, pavement, railways, airport, horizontal structures, bridges. And the submitted PCAAB license is medium B, which is also a higher category. Thus, it is responsive and it is valid until June 30, 2022. For the statement of all ongoing projects, the submission of MR Vargas failed to disclose other ongoing projects. I will discuss this further later on on this presentation. For the SLCC, they submitted the project reconstruction improvement at Bonifacio Drive and widening of Anda Circle in Manila City, and the contract price of this project is 64,522 pesos and 78 centavos. So this is similar to the contract of the project to be bid, and it is also more than 50% of the ABC, so it is responsive. For the audited financial statement, the submission AFS, the submitted AFS is for 2019-2020, and it is stamped received by the BIR on 11 May 2021, so it is responsive. For bidders' computation of net financial capacity, the submitted NFCC in the amount of 2,989,952,262 pesos and 4 centavos is responsive. It is more than the ABC of the project. So joint venture is not applicable in this particular case. Technical documents, bid security, they submitted a bid securing declaration which is duly notarized, so it is responsive. Organizational chart, they also submitted an org chart which met the minimum required technical personnel, so it is responsive. For the list of contractors personnel, they also submitted the list of personnel which met the minimum required criteria as per invitation to bid, so it is responsive. For list of contractors equipment, the submitted equipment also met the minimum criteria or requirement for the project, so it is responsive. Omnibus sworn statement, they submitted a duly notarized omnibus sworn statement, so it is responsive. Certificate of site inspection. The certificate of site inspection was issued to Mr. Michael Wahing and issued by the airport manager of the Antique Airport, Mr. Juanito Tanchico. So it is responsive. Photocopy of the company ID. They submitted a company ID of Mr. Wahing. So it is responsive. Photocopy of airport visitor's logbook. They attached the visitor's logbook of CAAP to the entry name of Mr. Wahing. So it is responsive. No bid bulletin for this particular project. For the second envelope, financial bid form, the offered bid is 64,733,032 pesos and 22 centavos. However, the calculated bid is in the amount of 64,675 pesos, 790 pesos and 42 centavos. So a difference from the ABC of 31 Sir, we will just recalculate this. Sorry. So for the bill of quantities, the bill of quantities is in accordance with the Philippine bidding form, so it is responsive. The bid proposal is also in accordance with the bidding form, so it is responsive. The detailed estimates, it is in accordance with the bidding form, so it is also responsive. Summary sheet indicating materials, labor rates, and equipment rates, they're all in accordance with the bidding form, so it is responsive. Cash flow by quarter is also responsive, as it is in accordance with the bidding form. So they submitted the post-qualification documents containing, number 1, the latest income tax and business tax returns. So they submitted the BIR document, business tax for the period December 2020. It is responsive. And for the other licenses, they submitted and we also validated a copy of the PhilJEPS registration, renewed pickup license, SEC registration, mayor's permit, and tax clearance. So it is responsive. Latest audited financial statement. The submission is for fiscal year 2019-2020, so it is responsive. And the key personnel, all the licenses and accreditations were also submitted, and we validated it, and it is all responsive. So for our major findings for the statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, M.R. Vargas Construction Corporation only indicated one project in the submitted technical document. However, during our post-qualification visit, we visited the office of M.R. Vargas in Aliaga, Nueva Ecija, and we found out that M.R. Vargas Construction has other ongoing projects that are not included in the submitted list of all ongoing projects. Projects in DPWH, National Irrigation, and the National Housing Authority. So we verified with the DPWH, and MR Vargas Construction Corporation has an ongoing project with the following details. So this particular project I highlighted is not included in the project listed in the submitted ongoing government and project contracts. So here are the details. So the construction of two-story multipurpose building and gymnasium in Quezon City in the amount of 29,615,609 pesos and 45 centavos. So we verified this and with DPWH, and this is still an ongoing project, and it is also indicated in the website of the DPWH that this project is still an ongoing project for MR Vargas Construction Corporation. So we also cited here Non-Policy Matter 006-2018, which clearly provides, which expressly provides that failure to declare an ongoing government and private contract, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, is a ground for disqualification. These contracts, as reflected in the statement of all ongoing contracts, are vital to the computation of the net financial contracting capacity of the bidder, as they are necessary information during post-qualification stage to verify, validate, and ascertain the technical qualification of the lowest calculated bidder for the ultimate determination whether the lowest calculated and whether it is the lowest calculated responsive bidder. And also, Mr. Chair, the failure of MR Vargas to indicate the non-disclosure of other projects, it will also be difficult for the technical working group or for the BAC to determine whether they have negative slippages in other projects. So with that findings, Mr. Chair, the technical working group hereby recommends that number one, MR Vargas Construction Corporation be post-disqualified for non-disclosure of all its ongoing projects. And number two, that the second lowest calculated bidder, which in this case is GA Flores Construction Incorporated, to undergo post-qualification process for consideration and approval of the board of the Bids and Awards Committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for the presentation, Attorney Frank. So this is the post-qualification report already. For first ba to? MR Vargas, sila yung lowest, no?
Sila yung lowest, sir.
So they underwent. So based on the evaluation, they did not meet the qualifications. And the recommendation now is for the post-disqualification so that we can move forward for the evaluation of the second lowest calculated bidder, which in this case is GA Flores Construction. Sige, do we have any comments or queries from the members? If there's none, maybe we can have a motion, please. Members?
To the chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, Ma'am Diane. Go ahead, please.
I'd like to move for the adoption of the recommendation of the technical working group for the post-disqualification of MR Vargas for non-disclosure of all its ongoing projects, and for GA Flores Construction Incorporated to undergo post-qual process.
Thank you, Ma'am Diane. Is there any second?
Second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir Ken. There being a motion duly seconded, let the recommendation of the DWG for the post-disqualification of MR Vargas Construction Corporation is hereby adopted, and secondly, for the conduct of post-qualification process for the second lowest calculated bidder, which is GA Flores Construction Incorporated, is also likewise adopted. So let's proceed please with the necessary notifications and the submission of the requirements from the second lowest bidder. Thank you, Attorney Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, with that, let's proceed to the last item in the agenda for this morning, which is the TWG presentation on the justification on the delay of the bid evaluation report presentation for the Zamboanga International Airport Development Project. Are we ready to present this?
Yes, Mr.
Captain Don is not here though. Let me just quickly check if he's not preoccupied. Maybe he can join. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
All right. Captain Don is in another meeting, but he stepped out just for this particular agenda item to hear out the presentation of the WG. So he's here. Let me just show video.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, please proceed.
Sir, good morning. On behalf of the technical working group, sir, I will be presenting the prepared letter reply. I mean memorandum as directed by the Deputy Director General and the BAC Chair or BAC Chair. Allow me, sir, to share my screen. So this is, Mr. Chair, the compliance of the technical working group to the directive for us to explain on the perceived delay or the delay in the bid evaluation, the presentation of the bid evaluation report for the Zamboanga Airport Development Project. So, allow me, sir, to read our letter. In compliance, submits the here under explanation of the perceived delay in the completion of the bid evaluation and the presentation of the report for the Zamboanga Airport Development Project. For the procurement timelines, timeline activities, for the pre-procurement conference was conducted last September 6 for this project. Pre-bidding conference was also conducted last September 5, 2021, and the opening of bids was done last September 29. So, presentation of the succeeding procurement activity should have been presentation of bid evaluation report and subsequent post-qualification report presentation. For the conduct of bid evaluation, in Section 32.4 of the revised implementing rules and regulations of the Republic Act 9184 expressly provides that the entire evaluation process for the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects shall be completed within 7 calendar days from the deadline, was then given strictly following the provisions of the RIRR counting from the opening of bids, which was done last September 29, the TWG Evaluation 2021. So here are the reasons why there was a delay in the presentation of bid evaluation report. The TWG is conscious of the maximum allowable period per procurement activity as provided in the IRR. Nonetheless, they're taken by BAC Charlie. It has been a challenge for the technical personnel to meet the prescribed timeline without compromising the quality of the evaluation. Be it noted that the BAC Charlie we opened the Tacloban Airport Development Project last September 24, and the number of bids to be evaluated are 5. For the Osamis Airport Development Project, we opened last September 29, and there's only 1 submission. For the Antique Airport Development Project, we also opened the bids last September 29 with 7 bids to be evaluated. On October 4, we opened the Bukidnon Airport Development Project Phase 3, and the number of proposals to be evaluated are 9.
Attorney Frank.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It seems to me that you are presenting all the delayed procurement projects. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Now, one word. Why?
Sir, in the succeeding paragraph, sir, we indicated the reason, sir. If you may allow me, sir, to continue in this paragraph, sir.
Okay, sige.
Yeah. It is the persisting objective of the technical working group to firmly follow the procurement rules and regulations, but with the limited number of TWG vis-a-vis the voluminous documents being evaluated and reviewed simultaneously, there are occasions that we fail to strictly observe the timeline. To point out an example, the bid evaluation for Tacloban Airport Development Project took almost 2 weeks for the TWG to complete the process. The line-by-line review of the detailed unit price analysis, or DUPA part, which consists of more or less 500 pages, is something that cannot be done in just 7 days. One financial proposal is thoroughly evaluated by a technical personnel and has to be subsequently checked by another to ensure accuracy of the outcome of the evaluation. Apparently, bid evaluation may not have been completed more than what is provided in the IRR, but the overall procurement period of the project is still within the allowable time. The TWG assures that the submitted proposals went under rigorous scrutiny and evaluation is fairly conducted. So with this memo, sir, we are just citing in this memo, sir, that the main reason, sir, why we failed to strictly conform with the timeline is because of the number of bid evaluation that we are supposed to conduct simultaneously, and the volume of documents to be reviewed and evaluated. So with that, Mr. Chair, we are submitting our explanation, and we submit this to the sound decision of the Bids and Awards Committee and to the chairman of the Bids and Awards Committee, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any recommendations?
Our recommendation, considering, sir, that we do not, if we are to strictly follow, sir, the timeline of the GPPB, we clearly failed to provide, to strictly comply the timeline, which can be a cause for the failure and
Declaration of failure, Attorney Frank. Under resolution clause, is that what you're recommending?
Sir, we submit it to the sound discretion of discretion and approve. I mean decision of the Bids and Awards Committee. It can be two ways, sir. We can submit for can due to failure by Mr. Losby, import as all research is received the remark on the Bids and Awards
Can I request for an executive session?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? DWG stake together with the members, but let's stop. And let's stop streaming for now so that we can discuss very please. Thank you. Secretary, for us open.
You cleared the meeting room, sir.
Okay na, Attorney Irish?
Attorney Irish, maybe we can also remove TWG from ANS as they are not privy to the evaluation.
Will clear, attorney.
Na umalis na si Sir Norik tuloy.
See?